In this video, we're going to be looking at the new to Painter 2016 Enhanced Layer Blending brush technology. And like the name implies, we're going to be working with enhanced blending on layers. So we're going to need a document that has layers in order to see this. Now, what I primarily want to point out to you is that what's going to matter when we're working with this is the alpha transparency. So if I turn off my canvas real quick, you can see on this layer that I have right now, I have alpha transparency all the way around. I also do not have the pick up underlying color or preserve transparency set yet. I want to go ahead and just work with this as a standard type of layer first, and then we'll see what those options do next. So I'm going to come back over here, turn my canvas back on so that we can just focus on what's going on here. And I want to go back to a previous version of Painter in terms of my brush library so that we can see how old brushes used to handle this. So I'm going to come over and change from my Painter 2016 brush library over here to the brush library of Painter 2015 brushes, and this is going to allow me to see how things used to be in a previous version of Painter. So if I come over here and I choose from my Painter 2015 brushes, the blenders category, and I come down here to grainy water, what I want to do is I want to be blending on my layer 1 utilizing this grainy water brush without the enhanced layer blending, so that we can see exactly what we used to get in Painter. So if I come over here and I begin to blend, you can see what we get is this white stuff that's blending at the outer edges where we're hitting alpha transparency. And as a matter of fact, if I come over here and I just paint in the middle of nowhere, you can see I still get the white, even though I'm not touching anything that has any kind of opacity on this particular layer. So again, not ideal at all. Let me go ahead and Control Z to undo those guys a couple times. I'm going to come over here to Window. I'm going to come down to Brush Control Panels, and I'm going to come over here to Blending. Blending is the control panel that's going to allow us to access the Enhanced Layer Blending option. This is a new name for an old control panel that we used to have in previous versions of Painter called the Well. It still has all the same settings that the Well used to have in it. It just has a couple of new options in it, the most important of which is the Enhanced Layer Blending option. So again, remember, if I come over here and I start blending, I'm going to be getting that white where I'm hitting alpha transparency. Let me go ahead and undo that. If I turn on enhanced layer blending, what you're going to see is that I do not get the white. Instead, I'm able to pull the local color out into that transparent space, and I'm able to work with it in transparent space. If I start in a transparent area where there is no opacity, you can see I don't pull up anything. There is nothing that is being pulled up. This is not like pick up underlying color. Instead, what we're doing is we're pulling those opaque pixels out into transparent space, and we're blending them in the transparent space. This is a very important distinction because if I come over here and I undo a couple of these strokes and I turn on pick up underlying color, you'll see I get a very different result. The reason why is because we're pulling up that green from the background and we're using that in our transparent space. So again, very different results than what we would get with pick up underlying color. An important distinction to make. I'm going to go ahead and undo those brush strokes so that I get back to a clean surface here. And then what I want to do is I want to come over and see what happens when we're working with the preserve transparency without the enhanced layer blending. So if I just come over here and I work with this in the old mode without the enhanced layer blending, what you're going to see is instead of white, what I'm getting is black wherever we're hitting that transparent portion of the layer. And again, the reason why is because we're working with preserve transparency, which is locking the transparency of those pixels, maintaining clean hard edges, but we're pulling in this black, and this is definitely not a good thing. If I go ahead and I undo that, and I come over here and turn on the enhanced layer blending, what you'll see is I'm able to blend now, and I don't get that black. So the idea here is that you would use the enhanced layer blending whenever you're working on a layer, whether you're working with the preserve transparency option on or off. Without the preserve transparency, you won't be getting this white stuff, and with the preserve transparency, you won't be getting this black stuff. So regardless, whichever way you're wanting to work, the idea here is that the enhanced layer blending is going to resolve the white problem here or the black problem here. It's definitely a good thing. Now, the important thing to understand is that pretty much all of the brushes that are within the Painter 2016 brushes library already have this enabled. But if you want to bring in any older brushes from Painter 2015 or previous that you may already have, then you're probably going to want to come in here to the blending control panel and turn on enhanced layer blending so that you can enjoy this new technology within Painter 2016.